Leesburg. You're in the right place. I'm Charlene Banks. I'm Reverend Charlene Banks, the spiritual director of CSL Leesburg. And today, November 30th, we have a guest speaker. Tamera will be presenting to us the talk titled The Soul of an Octopus. And I added a little something, The Soul of an Octopus and Others. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. Let me go ahead and share the screen with you. You're in the right place. Just settle in. Oh, not quite right. Settle in and relax and get ready for quite a treat. And I do want to mention, before we go into our opening the sacred space video, I do want to mention that we are here to pray with you and pray for you. So at the end of the service, if you are in an interface on Zoom or maybe even on Facebook, type in a prayer request, and we will make sure to include that prayer request in our closing prayer and during the week when Tamera, the practitioner for CSL Leesburg, and myself, where we hold our community in prayer. So whatever you desire is right here, ready for you. So without further ado, let me share our opening video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is.
And so it is indeed, indeed. So because Tamera will be blessing us with her wonderful message, I am going to lead us in our meditation. So let's get comfortable, find a place and just settle in. Take a nice cleansing breath and exhale. Isn't it so good to just let go of the day, the busyness, whatever it is we had to do to get here this morning, and just settle into our bodies. Let your support, whether you're sitting on a chair or a couch, even the floor, whatever's holding your body in this moment, settle into that support. allowing the breath to inform our awareness, to anchor our presence. Right where we are is the presence of the divine. Feel your nervous system just calming down as you breathe deeply and allow every organ of your being to be nourished by the flow. The flow of oxygen which nourishes the flow of our blood, which empowers the flow of our energy, it's all right here. Allowing the breath and if the mind wanders, that's okay. Bringing our attention back to the breath. Be here now. Where's your attention? And in this place that is so vast, so full, so powerful, this place within is the kingdom of the divine. It is nearer to us than our breath. It is closer than our hands and our feet. Be still and know that the I Am presence is moving in, through, and as you, even now. And so slowly, with one inner eye toward that same internal energy and one, maybe two outer eyes, let's go ahead and softly open our gaze. Look around with appreciation to all that is around you and just know that right here is the heart of the divine. And so we welcome Leah, who will have some things for us. Let me stop sharing. And I think I see her. Ah, hi.
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 Hello. Good your morning. This is a song by Rafi, who's a Canadian children's musician. And I'd like to invite you to sing with me. It's a call and response. I'll sing along. And if you'd sing that back at me, then off we go. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the sun in the sky. Thanks for the sun in the sky. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the clouds so high. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the moonlit night. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all I've got. Thanks for the animals. Thanks for the land. Thanks for the creatures everywhere. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all I've got. So that's the whole song. Let's do it one more time together. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the sun in the sky. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the clouds so high. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the moonlit night. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the stars so bright. Thanks for the animals. Thanks for the land. Thanks for the people everywhere. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all I've got. Thanks for all I've got.
Wonderful, wonderful. And thank you, Leah, for wonderful music as always. And Rafi, yes, how wonderful to bring in one of his songs. So, you heard in our opening statement that the title of our talk today is The Soul of an Octopus. And our theme for November, we have one more day to focus on this theme, is loving the unlikable. So, this month we've been challenging our preconceived opinions of others and situations and preparing for the talk today. Something that we typically do at the end of the month, just traveled back through my journal looking at what did we focus on in the month of November, keeping with this theme, loving the unlikable. So, in week one, our affirmation was I choose love, even when I encounter something I don't like. And in our journals, we were encouraged to recognize that personal aversions don't equal inherent worth. They're just our personal opinions, right? Which led us into week two. We were guided to acknowledge and honor all aspects of our personal history, both the joyful moments and the challenges. My favorite note from that week, what I wrote in my journal was bless the dandelions and the stink bugs. Everything that we encounter is part of our personal history. And then there was the quote from John Rodell, which I really liked. Weeds have no awareness that they're not wanted. So even blessing those little weeds that we encounter, metaphorically or literally. In week three, Reverend Melinda was our guest speaker, and she asked us to explore the difference between these words opinion, facts, and truth with a capital T. Our journals provided this advice when we're facing decisions or evaluating information that's coming to us. Step one, identify the facts. Step two, recognize opinions. And then step three, reflect on the truth. What are our core values and principles? And use that to guide us. And then last week, Reverend Charlene reminded us that we are one with everything. Our kin, our circle of friends and family and coworkers, those that we hold close and dear, and our kith, which we all admitted was kind of a new term for us. It's the 1 mile radius that is around you, nature, the plants, the animals, everything that creates your home base. These are all layers of loving the unlikable that we've been asked to add to our spiritual practice this month. And now here we are on week 5, the soul of an octopus. So in our journals, if you have that and you're following along, you're going to find these words under the personal practical application. As Ernest Holmes reminds us in the Declaration of Principles, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny. For we understand that all of life is God. When you encounter someone or something unfamiliar, unsettling, take a moment to reflect on the divine essence that is present in all life forms. For every being is an expression of God's soul. We are manifestations of that divine spirit. So it's really easy to love puppies and kittens, right? They're so cute and cuddly. But what about octopuses? Or this one's for you, Charlene, spiders, or vultures, or moray eels. Is there truly a divine essence that is present in all life forms, even the ones that aren't cute and cuddly? So I don't think that it's a coincidence. Let's face it, we're kind of catching on. There's no coincidences. That the title of our talk today is The Soul of the Octopus. Because I want you for just a moment to picture an octopus, a real octopus, not a cute little beanie baby octopus, but an octopus. It's a creature that inspired our images of space creatures from distant planets. A bulbous head and all those tentacles that are like snake-like and terrifying. They're featured in movies and books like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And up until recently, we didn't know a lot about them, right? They're deep down in the ocean and we don't get to see them very often because they like to hide. But I'd like to introduce you to a few octopuses named Athena, Octavia, Callie, and Karma. So if you read the book, The Soul of the Octopus, which some of you had and encouraged me to do when you heard that I was going to do this talk today, you get to meet these octopuses in this book. So Cy Montgomery shares her personal interactions with several giant Pacific octopuses that are residing at the New England Aquarium in Boston. And she goes and visits them on a regular basis. And she gets to know the aquarium staff and volunteers. And even more importantly, she gets to know four octopuses: Athena, Octavia, Callie, and Karma. And each of them are distinctly different. They have their own personalities. And through the book, I learned a lot that I did not know about octopuses. They're not just these gelatinous masses. So Montgomery shows us that they are not this old stereotype. They exhibit incredible intelligence. They show complex problem solving skills, such as escaping seemingly secure enclosures. And they will even use their jets of water to bounce objects for play. They like to play. And they even occasionally spray visitors who are new to them or maybe that they just don't like. She documents that each octopus has its own personality. So Athena is gentle and affectionate. And oh my goodness, the first octopus that she got to know. There's others that are curious and mischievous, like Callie, and some are even reserved and maybe even a little aggressive. They're all unique, just like us. In the book, she teaches us about octopuses and what makes them unique physically. So I didn't know this. They have 3 hearts. What? They have blue blood. Some of them have venom that's almost like a snake's venom that when they bite their prey, they like just numb it and paralyze it. They have 9 brains. 9. How is that possible? Well, they have a central brain. And then each of their 8 tentacles has its own brain. Mind blowing. And they taste. Montgomery talks about this a lot in her book. They will reach out with their tentacles when they're greeting somebody new. And with their little suction cups, they taste the skin of the person that's visiting. Isn't that amazing? They taste it with their tentacles. They can change color. They can even change their texture. So if they're hiding out with a bunch of seaweed, suddenly these things start protruding from the top of their head that look like pieces of seaweed. They can change their texture in an instant to reflect their environment or even, incredibly, their mood. They're like mood rings of the sea. So Montgomery talks about forming a bond with these octopuses and how these octopuses form bonds with their caretakers. They learn to recognize specific people, greeting them if they like them or hiding if they don't like them. And like I said, they reach out their arms. She described it almost like a little child, like reaching out when they see somebody coming over to their tank that they like. So the ultimate question the book seeks to explore is whether octopuses have a consciousness and a soul. So she uses the animal's curiosity and playfulness and complex social interactions and their ability to show individual preferences as evidence. They are sentient beings with a rich inner life. And something that was so moving, she chronicled their brief lifespan. So she got to witness the natural end of Athena's life. At the end of an octopus's life, a female octopus's life, she lays, I forget how many, but it's something like thousands of eggs. It's crazy. And then she stays. She finds a place to make her nest. She wants to make sure it's all safe and dark and a place where her eggs are protected. And then she sits and guards her eggs and stays there. And she doesn't leave. She doesn't hunt for food. She slowly starves herself, making the protection of her eggs her sole function, setting aside all other needs. And then when she's at the point of death, these little eggs hatch and they fly off, they float off. And it reminded me so much of that last scene, that
poignant scene in Charlotte's Web when Charlotte is dying and the little eggs or the little spiders are just going off and reminding us that it's all a circle of life. There's death, but there's birth. Oh my goodness gracious. Her book showed us that animal bonds are not exclusive to humans and not exclusive to mammals. The octopuses in her book demonstrate individual personalities, the capacity for trust, a level of recognition that transcends species boundaries. They form bonds with humans, demonstrating a highly developed consciousness capable of complex emotion and individual connection. So let me tell you about another animal. You might not find these, I hope you don't find these as visually unappealing as octopuses, or maybe you're a big fan of octopuses, I don't know. But there's the elephant. And I have a little collection of elephants up here, and there's my Horton, he's over there too. Love that message in that book about seeing a who. But anyway, a few years ago, I read a book called Small as an Elephant. And it's a book that's found in many middle school libraries and classrooms. It's a fictional story about a boy, Jack, who gets separated from his mother during a camping trip. And his only companion that he has with him is this little, small, plastic elephant. And here's what I loved most about the book. So every chapter began with true facts about elephants. And I didn't know this about elephants. I remember learning some things in school about them, but just kind of where you might encounter an elephant, the geographical locations where they're found. They're not in Virginia. They're over in Asia and they're over in Africa. And there's different types of elephants. And that was about it. But I did not know the complexity of their relationships. They have a hierarchy, and it's a matriarchal hierarchy. There's a female elephant who is in charge, and it's the oldest, largest, and most experienced female. And she holds a lot of knowledge. Her primary role is to keep the memory, the ancestral memory of this herd. She remembers routes to water sources during severe droughts. She is the keeper of the safe migration paths. And she also knows how to identify and react to different predators. She can distinguish between a male lion, which is a greater threat, than a female lion. And this knowledge is critical for the survival of the entire herd. So her leadership is based on knowledge, on wisdom, on courage, on experience, not aggression. She makes all the critical life and death decisions for the group. And the females in the herd, the daughters, the sisters, the aunts, and the granddaughters, stay with their family herd for their entire lives. And they create a stable, multi-generational social unit. In fact, they do something that it takes a village, this concept called cooperative rearing or allo mothering. So all the little elephant calves are raised collectively in a system of you better listen to your mother, you better listen to your aunts, you better listen to your older brothers or your older sisters, you better listen to your female cousins. They all assist the mother elephant in the protection, the comfort, and the care of the calf. This not only supports the mother, boy, wouldn't that have been nice when our little ones were tiny, right? To have all those people helping you out, all those women, oh my gosh. But it also trains the next generation. And this is how we parent. And there's something that I learned called fission fusion society. This one's for you, Mafi. The herds operate in a fission fusion dynamic. Once the core family remains bonded, the group size and the composition will change depending on the environment. They may split up into smaller bonds, smaller groups when resources are scarce, to minimize competition. And they'll fuse with larger clans into larger clans when resources are abundant. That's pretty smart. That can't just be instinct. That has to be something that is conveyed, carried, thought out. I think that shows a sign of a consciousness. So let's talk about the males. All right, we can't ignore them. The male elephants or bulls begin a gradual separation from their family around the ages of 10 to 15. And then listen to this, they hang out. They hang out in bachelor groups. I'm picturing something like Jersey Shore. So they hang out and they congregate in their little bachelor groups and they maintain social relationships and they try to reduce conflict and teach each other social skills that are necessary for later life. Kind of like the Boy Scouts, I guess. I don't know. They train and they practice their skills. Elephants are also considered, the more that we learn about them, to be the world's most empathetic and intelligent species, demonstrating emotions and behaviors once thought unique only to humans. I have a feeling some of you know this. They experience profound grief and they even have mourning rituals. So when a herd member dies, the elephants will often stand in a silent vigil over the body for hours and sometimes even days. And they use their trunks to gently touch and caress the body. Later, they'll return even and they'll visit the bones, and they can be found to be caressing the bones. That speaks a lot. That shows that they carry the memory and the loss with them. Elephants who have witnessed traumatic events, such as the killing of family members by poachers, have been observed to show signs consistent with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And this includes distress, hypervigilance, and listen to this, they're even observed waking up screaming. Wow, did you ever imagine hearing that an animal could carry that traumatic stress of witnessing the death of a loved one and they wake up screaming? They have a very strong sense of compassion and empathy. They will even anticipate the distress of others. They have been observed rushing to defend calves from danger, even when the calf has not yet signaled that it's in danger or pain. This suggests that they have that ability to kind of project, all right, this is here and this is here. Oh, this is going to happen. They form a circle of defense when predators are nearby, placing their large bodies in a tight circle in order to protect their younger calves. I think we can relate to that. If you're a parent, you betcha. The mama bear, the mama elephant coming forward. They also aid the injured. Elephants have been documented slowing down the entire herd's movement to accommodate an injured member. They've also been seen assisting others by lifting them out of mud holes or even using their trunks to remove a foreign object, such as a dart, from another elephant. And I once saw a video about 2 elephants that were raised together in, I think, a circus, and then they got separated. And then years later, they are reunited at this elephant, I guess, welfare group. I don't know how to describe it, but there was a group of people in America that will take in rescue elephants. Can you imagine? They have this huge, huge farm. And if an older elephant is no longer wanted, needs a place to go, they go to this place. And these 2 elephants recognize each other. They had been separated for years. And when they saw each other, folks, it was the most beautiful, joyful reunion as they charged to each other and just entwined their trunks. And they would not be separated from then on. They were always, always together. Asian elephants have been known to pass something called the mirror recognition test. So this is a benchmark of self-awareness. This means that they understand that the image in the mirror is themselves. They're looking at themselves. And this capability is only shared with a handful of other species, including great apes and dolphins. And for those of you who have dogs or cats, you might have caught your dog or cat suddenly going, wait. And maybe they bark at it, or are scared by it. Is that another dog? Or do they recognize, is that me? I don't know. In my research, it showed that just elephants, Asian elephants, great apes, and dolphins do this. So what do you think with all this? Do animals have a consciousness? I have a couple more amazing animals to tell you about. And as you listen to their stories, ask yourself, do these acts prove that animals possess a consciousness and emotional depth? What do you think? In August 2007, a professional surfer, Todd Endress, was bitten by a large great white shark while surfing in California. But a pod of dolphins intervened him, and they stayed by him, allowing him to get safely to shore. Why did they endanger themselves? In order to protect an injured man, a creature from a different species. And scientists who study chimpanzees have discovered that our primate cousins also show compassion through various behaviors, including comforting distressed individuals, sharing food, helping others solve problems, showing empathy toward familiar humans and even strangers in some situations. We all know Dr. Jane Goodall, right? And they even found that these chimpanzees will hug each other and pat to comfort a distressed peer. They will tend to the wounds of others. They will share food with another who has lost their own. They'll even help others, and they never expect anything in return. They just act out of pure empathy. And there's thousands of stories of service dogs and regular household pets who alert and protect their owners when they're in danger. They save their families from fires, from attackers, from other dangers. They scoop up and get toddlers who wander off and bring them back to the home. You've heard these stories. And you might have even heard me tell the story of a cat named Hannah. So my cousin Peggy is diabetic, and her cat Hannah would wake her up in the middle of the night when Peggy's blood sugar got low. Hannah would sit on her chest and bat Peggy in the face until she realized what was going on. Oh, wait, Hannah's waking me up suddenly in the middle of the night. I must have low blood sugar and I have to go address this. Amazing. So just a little recap of these examples. We have the amazing elephants who form a defensive circle. We have the selfless shield of the dolphins, the empathy of chimpanzees, and the unwavering loyalty of our family pets. Doesn't this prove that courage and empathy and compassion is in the animal world? That it's not a myth, that it's a fact, documented repeatedly across species. And these stories are not just interesting anecdotes. They're profound proof that we really are all one, that consciousness exists in animals as well as in us. So one final thought, and I promise, Charlene, I won't do any spoilers, but have you seen Wicked for Good? So when I was preparing for this talk and I was thinking about animals and their consciousness and loving the unlikable, I thought about the Wicked Witch of the West. So this film, just this one alone, has broken records for stage musical adaptation, with the third highest grossing opening weekend for a movie musical in a domestic market, bringing in approximately 147 million domestically and 150 million globally. So was she really the Wicked Witch? As children, you were probably just like me. I was terrified of the Wicked Witch and especially her evil flying monkeys. And we cheered when she melted, and we joyfully joined the munchkins as they sang and danced. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch old witch, the Wicked Witch. But it's kind of interesting what's happening. We've talked about this. There's a shift that's being created, that's happening. loving the unlikable, learning to change our preconceived opinions. The author of Wicked, Gregory Maguire, presented us with a different curtain to peek behind. This time we didn't see that the wizard was just a man. We saw that the witch was just a woman with a story, with a journey, with a path that wasn't paved in gold. And we watched her as she shed a few tears at a school dance, and we watched her form a friendship with a goat, which inspired her fight for justice for animals. We watched her defy gravity, and we watched her challenge preconceived opinions. So, what spiritual lessons can we learn from octopuses, elephants, dolphins, chimpanzees, a green witch, and people who appear different than us, the unlikable? How can these lessons be applied to our own spiritual growth? Can we apply the messages from this month and remember that we are one with everything? Can we go into situations and view the world with new eyes, treating all life with respect, empathy, and a recognition of consciousness? These are questions to ponder this week as you continue to grow spiritually. All right, folks, let's go within for prayer. And before I begin, give me one moment while I just check and see if we have any prayer concerns or celebrations in the chat. I don't see any, so let's just go into our prayer. We are one with everything. There is a divine wisdom, a universal life that manifests itself in every single person, in every single living thing. Everyone and everything is connected by this truth. We know that there is no separation. And knowing this truth, I affirm my oneness with everything, with all beings. I am part of this magnificent tapestry with the stars, with the trees, with the blades of the grass, with the animals that live in the ocean, that walk across the prairies and the desert, all the little things that climb and jump. I am one with them. The same divine energy that creates and sustains all of nature is within me now at every moment. There are times when I am the calf that is surrounded by a circle of defense. I feel safe and guarded and secure and protected. And there are times when I am the matriarchal leader of the elephant herd who uses divine wisdom to lead the herd to water during a drought. I too have my place and my purpose. And so I speak my word with a profound sense of absolute peace in every moment. I choose love when I encounter the unlikable. And I trust the the beneathness within me, where my strength and stability lie, as we explored in week 2. I value the clarity that comes from distinguishing between opinions and facts and what I know to be the divine truth. I celebrate the unique beauty and brilliance and diversity of my community, my country, and my planet. And I acknowledge with profound gratitude the boundless, unconditional love that is mine to give and to receive. I am so grateful for all the good that is in each moment and in all things, people, animals, and situations. I release this word into the law, knowing that as I speak, it is already so. And so it is. Are you ready for some more music from Leah? Let's go.
Thank you so much, Tamera. I love hearing about our cousins on the earth. I always talk with my kids using those terms. These are our family members. So let's do our best to act accordingly. So it's beautiful to hear and to feel that reinforced in this ministry. Today is Layla's birthday. For those of you who know Layla or who don't, Layla is my eldest daughter. She turns 26 today, and her body is in Peru. But this is a song that was inspired by a challenging time in our relationship, very resonant with the theme of loving the unlikable. I'm sure at that time neither of us liked each other very much. It's a song that helped us remember how much we love each other. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I hear you, I see you, just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are, I welcome you. I welcome you. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept. Just as you are, I welcome you. Just as you are. Just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in. Just as you are. Just as you are.
Wow, that was so good. I love that song, but now that you added the context, I love it even more. Layla, so precious. We love Layla here over here at our house. Love some Layla. So happy birthday, dear, in Peru. I know, that's awesome. She's always somewhere in the world. All right. So I'm supposed to, I'm having such fun being a congregant. Fine, I'll do my work, but I just want to let you know it's tricky. All right, here we go. Here are the many ways that we allow you to support us, because it's a whole love fest. We just love each other and we want to support each other. Ways to support CSL Leesburg are here on the slide. So as we know, it's very amazing, rewarding, and productive, and I think necessary to life to give. And what we give is not only our financial support to the places that feed us spiritually, but we give our time, we give our attention, we give our talent, because we want to support one another. And so what better time to talk about supporting CSL Leesburg by offering you the opportunity to support us. As you can see on the slide, there are ways to text your donation and ways to just cash app it to us, put it in PayPal, drop it in the mail. Don't drop it in the mail. Don't do that. Just find an electronic way. Although if you must drop it in the mail, talk to me. I'll tell you where to send it. And just start to participate in that flow, that never-ending flow, ever-abundant flow of good. Because every moment that you're here, you are a blessing. So speaking of being a blessing, let's move to our affirmation, where you take your gift, no matter how you give, whether it's electronic or whether it's however you give, just hold it in your mind's eye and offer it forward as if it were in a collection plate passing by. And with this collection, with this donation, we bless it as it goes on its way. Say it with me. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch. brings gladness to the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the world in which I live, and to the animals with which I communicate. And so it is. All right, for our announcements, we only have one main announcement, which is off the heels of our conscious giving push, where we wanted everybody to make sure you pledged on time. So I do appreciate you all who definitely don't, or you pledged that this was the amount you plan to give. And if you stick around right after service, again, I'm still kind of torn. I'm trying to figure out, should we do it at 1, give you time to go get some lunch? My fear is that you might go get lunch and, oh, shiny object, and then are you going to wander away? Are you? I'm thinking we'll discuss what time. I'm thinking 1, maybe a little earlier, so we'll see. But it's on the schedule as from 1 to 2. What are we doing? She never said what we were doing. Our annual meeting. Our annual meeting, where we get to look back over the year 2025. We get to look forward to how we're going to spend 2026. You get to have a say on that financial plan, where we take our vote, and there's some fun, cute surprises. Oh, wait till you see what we've prepared. So come on back, though. You got to be here. That's what we're doing today. That's all I've got for announcements. And let's do our final affirmation. So here's what we're going to do. Yes, you've got it. I want it. Cameras on. Microphones on. Everybody say with me, I am love.
I am love.
That's right. And say it with them. You are love.
You are love.
Are love. That's right. Now put your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. And say it's all love.
It's all.
All right. Well, stick around for pearls. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. That was such a moving, my goodness, the moving talk from Tamera. I am never going to look at elephants, octopi, octopuses, not ever the same again. So if you feel the same, come join us. Let's discuss. Until next time, thanks for joining.
Whoop, whoop.